If you are new here, hi, my name is Rachel and I am a Fitglow lip serum addict. Hello, hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel and today, against all odds, we are filming a full face of Fitglow Beauty. So if that sounds good to you, I hope you'll stick around, hang out, and keep watching. Okay, against all odds because I'm late to filming, so this is going up late Monday. I'm not feeling super great and there are just noises galore, so we're gonna try to get through this. I am very excited about filming this. This has been kind of in the backlog of what I've wanted to film for a while, but I'm glad I waited because Fitglow has some new things to their line. I've had the SPF for a few weeks now, and then I also have the new setting powder that I have not used yet. So we're gonna do a full face with everything from Fitglow. The only things that I'll be using that are not Fitglow are my brow pencil, but I do have a brow gel from them, and then my bronzer. So I think that's everything I need to say. Oh, I did prep my face with the Fitglow C Ceramide Toning Mist, which I absolutely love. Very few videos on my channel don't talk about this in some capacity. It has C-derived ingredients as well as ceramides. Very hydrating, very soothing, amazing for skin prep. And then I used the Fitglow Firm C Eye Cream, which I really love that one, especially in the daytime. And then the only thing I used that was not Fitglow in skin prep was the Kinship Jelly Lip Prep because my lips are so crusty dusty right now. And then the Phytosurgence Forcefield, and I will get into why I decided to go with this as we get into the foundation from Fitglow. So love that. But let's go ahead and apply SPF. So this is Fitglow's new Vita Shield Plum Hyaluronic Primer, broad spectrum SPF 30. It comes in a nice airless pump, the packaging very chic, and this is also refillable. So let's read. It is a full mineral sunscreen with 14% zinc oxide. It says, the Powerhouse Environmental Defense Broad Spectrum SPF 30 glides onto skin effortlessly for a weightless, smooth finish. This multitasking sunscreen primer is enriched with a plant-active blend of hyaluronic acid, plum, birch, cloudberry, and green tea. Skin replenishing formula works to simultaneously protect from UV and UVB sun damage while locking in complete hydration with a supple bounce to the skin. It is lightweight and non-greasy, ultra sheer finish with no harsh chemicals, dermatologist tested and hypoallergenic formula suitable for all skin types, including sensitive skin. I'm going to do 3 pumps, and you'll see it has like a slight pink tone to it and is quite runny. So it does feel lightweight for a zinc sunscreen, but I almost feel like that's become the norm. And why I was interested in this is, number one, I really do enjoy a lot of the skincare from Fitglow, and I was excited to see them drop a sunscreen, but also because the claims are kind of similar to the Live Tinted Hue Guard, which is also kind of in the clean brand. I don't even want to talk about that. Like, I'm in a mood today, by the way. But if you're into that, like, they're in the clean brand market, and the Hue Guard really lives up to 3-in-1. Like, it is great under makeup. It also moisturizes very lovely, and it definitely protects against the sun. So you can see that you have to work on this one a little bit to get the little bit of white cast away. So I'm curious how this ends up going for a little bit darker skin tones than mine. And you can see I'm getting a little red. That's just from touching. My skin's very reactive in that way. But I will say I've worn this a couple of times. It is very hydrating. It feels very nice. And I wanted to test this out on top of the Phytosurgence because my favorite base right now is the Phytosurgence Verdant Forcefield with the Live Tinted on top. It makes all of my foundations just sit so much nicer on my skin because my skin is truly plump and moisturized. But yeah, you'll see it does leave a bit of a glow. There's a tiny tackiness to it, but that sets down after a while. And honestly, as far as makeup primers go, there's a lot to be said for that being good for that. But yeah, I really like this so far. Has it knocked all of my other favorite SPFs out of the water? No, but I really want to see how it performs with the Fitglow base product. So let's go ahead and jump into foundation and concealer. Okay, who am I kidding? I took a break to let my skincare sink in and looked up pricing. So the SPF is 1.5 ounces, so kind of standard. I see SPF typically being like at least 1 ounce, but a lot of them are now going to like 1.67 ounces, 1.5 ounces. So happy to see that it is not just an ounce, but it is $44 for that ounce. So it's up there in price. Like, I had trouble purchasing my Dr. Dennis Gross, which is I think 42 for 1.67 ounces, and this is much more. But it is a nice SPF, and you can always get Fitglow on sale. I'm going to be saying that a lot in this video. However, let's move into foundation. So I just washed 76 brushes yesterday, so I'm limited in my brush selection, and I'm going to be using a sponge, and I'm also hoping that this helps how this lays on my skin. So if you don't know this, if you go to Fitglow's site and you hit search up in the top right corner, hit sample, and you will be able to select the samples that they're currently offering. They will always be offering, however, foundation and concealer samples. So if you're not sure what your coloring is, you can also chat with someone on their website to figure that out, but they do send samples. So that's what I'm going to be using. I didn't want to dive into a more expensive foundation. This one does come in at $55 for an ounce, so I wanted to give it a try before I buy it. Not proper English, but we're going with it. Actually going to take that with my sponge and we can talk about this. So I've had this for a little while and I have used it a few times. And what I noticed is it just doesn't like to sit on my skin very nicely. I hope that padding's not super loud. But it does say that it has an herbal blend of hyaluronic acid, vitamin C, and it is a photo filtering foundation that gives a flawless finish. And to me, that means that it's going to be giving a little bit higher coverage. I'm going to try to apply it in light layers today. So far, it's not the worst, but I will say, like, I have a decent amount of mammalian hair on my face, which we all do, but I have PCOS, so I have a little bit more. But I am very lucky in that it is blonde, but some foundations do not like to sit very nicely on top of it. And another reason that I thought this might not have been sitting nicely on my skin is that it is drier. It's one of those things that's like very hydrating, but the way that the pigment is suspended in the base of the product, it can look very dry even though you're moisturized, if that makes any sense at all. I feel like I've heard Khaki specifically talk about that with the Kosas tinted oil. Yes, it's an oil, but the way that the pigment is suspended in it does not necessarily agree with her skin, and that's how I felt about this, which makes me so sad because, like I said, there's a lot of the Fitglow skincare that I really enjoy, and to have some of that in your makeup is just lovely because they are a brand that focuses on skincare forward makeup products. Like, they first serve as makeup, but they have a lot of skincare benefits, and I will say one of the only companies doing that I think actually delivers, especially with their lip products. But see, I'm gonna take a close-up in my mirror here. I'm gonna blend and take a look because it's still kind of looking, try to give you a nice close-up shot here. It's still looking very makeup-y on my skin, even with a sheer application, even with a very moisturized base. And as you can see, especially with that dewy base underneath, I'm quite dewy. It feels sticky. I don't know that this is going to be for you if you like things that dry down. This does not really dry down. It stays quite emollient on the skin. So I don't know. And I don't know if I mentioned, but I'm wearing the Foundation Plus in F1. I don't like how it feels. I'm so sorry. Okay, moving on. I have the Fitglow Correct Plus in green and the concealer in C1. These both have similar skincare touting ingredients. They are $42 for 6.2 milliliters. The description has them as full coverage. They have phytoelastin, organic green tea, vitamin K, and licorice root to help with blemishes, pigmentation, and fine lines. And a lot of people love this, especially if you're kind of in like the green or clean skincare community. I'm going in with that Correct Plus just around my red areas. But they absolutely swear by this concealer, especially being like the best one available in the green or clean space. And I love a full coverage concealer because to me, I can go a little bit lighter on my base and pick up the slack with concealer, and thus adding much less product to my face overall in layers. That did cover a bit of redness, and it does blend in nicely. I don't know about the green necessarily for darker skin tones, but they also have kind of pink and peach in different levels of deepness for under the eye, etc. But this doesn't leave like a weird green cast. It's just not, can you see this? It's not my preferred texture on my face. Watch me go back and this looks like beautiful because it's photo finish, but I don't know if I buy that. I lost my train of thought. It's been a morning as I get ready here. I'm gonna go in with the C1 and I'm gonna start under my eye. So Kate from State of Kate here on YouTube and Instagram, this is her Holy Grail concealer, especially for under the eyes. You can see quite bright. I probably could go a step lighter, but the shade range is not the absolute best for me with my undertones. They have in years past expanded that line and it has gotten better. I hope that they'll continue to do so. But if you have skin similar to State of Kate's, which is very interesting because she has dry skin, I think at times she loves this, and I could see why, because again, it stays very emollient, but there's something in this with that emollient base. I don't know if it's a wax or what, but it does not sit on my skin super well. And what I'm hoping today is that the dewy base underneath, the sponge application, and then the new powder might help out with that. So you can see, I'm gonna add a little bit here because that is a little bit too bright for me. So we'll try to match down here by my nose where it's a little red peeking through. I also feel like maybe this is something I revisit in the winter when my skin is at its driest, because I struggle with understanding, I know my skin is dry, but it's also dehydrated and it can be oily in the T-zone, hence the breakout proneness of my skin. I am quite dewy, like way dewier in person than I am with any of my other bases that I use. On camera, it's not looking terrible, but it just looks, honestly, do you know what this looks like? It reminds me of theater makeup from high school. That's how heavy it looks on my skin. But let's see if we take the shine down a little bit. It might be like too emollient. Okay, moving into the Fitglow Instantly Blurring Bamboo Hyaluronic Acid Loose Setting Powder Lifestyle Ready. This is one of their newest products. This is $28 and you get 0.3 ounces. So some of their stuff seems higher priced, some of it seems very reasonable. So it has a twisty in the top where you can kind of open and close the holes that let the powder out. So I knocked some of the powder in the lid and I'm going to use that to lightly set my face, and I'm going to use a very targeted powder brush because I want to try to keep this face as wearable as possible, and we're headed down a scary path. So I'm going to use, this is the Smith 103. It's just a very small powder brush. I'm going to dip into that, tap it off, and let's start with the chin here. See, okay. And this is supposed to be blurring. It is very, very finely milled. I don't know if you can see that or not. Yeah, very finely milled. No scent. I'm just tapping that in the areas I want to be a little bit more mattified. Very mattifying. Like, even with going in with a small amount, it definitely mattifies. But with this base, I'm not upset with that at all because we are dewier than like I typically go, and that's kind of nuts because I go quite dewy. I'm just trying to tap some of that down. Mostly the center of my face, my eyes, because we're prepping this for other products. You guys, this just took, okay, no. I'm gonna try to get close enough where it doesn't glare. Can you see the texture, especially like right here? Please say yes. It's not amazing, but it is much better than it was before the powder. And I am very excited to try this powder with other foundations, like very, very excited. From far away on camera, it's not looking bad, but in person, it's not like the worst foundation I've ever used. Honestly, there's one coming up in my recent fails that looks much worse than this, but it also feels very heavy and occlusive. Again, I need to like maybe consider revisiting this in the winter. I am going, actually let's use Fitglow. I am going to use a little bit of the Ceramide toning mist just because I feel heavy. Ooh, yeah, that feels better. And we'll go in with brows. I do have their brow gel, which I really like. I have mine in clear. As soon as I'm out of this, I do want to get the taupe. But because I have such sparse brows that are light, I am going to go ahead and fill them in really quickly. We'll buzz through that and then I will show me applying the brow gel. I have drawn my brows on. I'm just going to take the brow gel. You can see the clear has a bit of whiteness to it, but a nice small brush. This comes in at $28. And this, I feel like, is somewhere in between a regular brow gel and laminated brows. Like, this will hold, it will get them to stand up pretty straight. And it does last, but you do have to be careful when applying. You can kind of see a little bit there. It can tend to leave a little bit of white in the brow if you go in too heavy. But you do have time to kind of go in with a clean brow brush, and there we go, perfect example right there. But if you continue to kind of massage it out or use a clean brow brush to go over it, it does come out quite easily. But the clear you have to be quite delicate with. I would imagine that the colored versions of this would not be too bad with that. But they do feel very secure, and I do feel like I have a little bit of white. So let's go in with a clean brow brush and just wipe away. But it is a very nice brow gel, and I will say one thing that I really love. Again, they call out ingredients in this that are supposed to help strengthen and lengthen brow hair, but they have a gray shade. And as someone whose hair is starting to go white and gray, which I'm very excited about, I plan on being fully gray at some point, and I don't see a lot of eyebrow products come in gray, and I just love that. So shout out if you need a gray eyebrow gel, Fitglow has you covered. But I like this. Honestly, after the powder and the spray, I feel much better about the base. I'm still quite shiny in person on my cheeks, but we're gonna get into some powders. So let's actually do that, and then we'll do eyes. So Fitglow came out with this a little while back. So I've had these for a while. So really the only new thing to me is the powder, and I do really like it. I can't wait to use it on other things. It feels very nice, and it does blur, even on a base that might not be your favorite. But Fitglow came out with single pan products, which I'm so excited about because I have always been interested in trying the little palettes they come out with, but the colors weren't really like necessarily what I was looking for at the time. So these are multi-use powders, so some of them will have shimmer and are more geared towards eyeshadow, like the green shade that I have here in the bottom corner. But a lot of them are this kind of like satin matte that can be used as eyeshadow, blush, contour, bronzer, what have you. And I love that they're refillable pans. And the palette that they are selling on their site looks like this. It's made from recycled plastic water bottles, which I love to see that. It holds 4. You get a very generous mirror. Hello to my messy desk. But the magnets in here are very strong, hold it in place, and then you can see the little hole up here that you just pop a pin through to pop the product out. So I wanted to test out the formula, so I got one that I could use on my cheeks and then one that I could use on my eyes. So we are going to supplement with my Gucci bronzer, but for the most part, we're going to stick to this palette. So I'm going to go in with an Eco Tools brush. This is the multitasking powder brush, and I'm going to get some blush on my cheeks. And this is in the shade Buff, which is one of their best sellers in the lip serum. They also have it in the lip liner, just like a nice kind of neutrally rose shade. And we are going to add that to my cheeks. See, just a nice rosy wash of color. It does show up a little bit more red on my skin, but that's all pinks. I was kind of hoping that this would be a little bit more cool toned, like the lip serum and the lip liner are, but at the end of the day, it's a really nice color and it's going to look nice on a lot of different people. I do want to try other shades in this now that I know how the formula performs. Looks very nice. It's a satin matte. It's definitely going to let whatever type of base product you have on underneath peek through. So since I'm very, very dewy, I'm getting a lot more dewiness on my cheeks, but I do really like that. Very nice, very nice. So now I'm just going to go in with bronzer, my Gucci Soliel Eclat, and I will be right back and we'll do some eyes. All right, bronzer on. As emollient as those base products are, there's something about them that looks quite drying on my skin. I don't know. I'll go over with this maybe just to add a little moisture in. Okay. I don't know. We're gonna go in with the eyes, and I am gonna have to pop on the screen the name of the shade. It is their kind of like olivey green smoky shade, and it has, you can tell there's kind of like a black base pigment with then army green and then gold, and I think it's going to be really nice, kind of just buffed all over the eye. We're going for a very moody look, which, yes, I am moody today. And honestly, you know what? I might go in and tap with my finger first, and then we'll buff the edges out. I do want to try one of their like more bronzer shades, and then they have a lot of like my very favorite kind of mauve purple shades, mauve, however you want to say that. I feel like I say it both ways. This is gonna be like a one and done smoky eye kind of. It's looking a tiny bit patchy, but I think that's because of the concealer is grabbing it in some areas. But it's such a nice subtle shimmer, and as you buff it out, it kind of goes into, with that black base, kind of a cooler forest green, which is so nice, but then there's that gold shimmer going through it. Also, I feel like I'm working harder because this is not my favorite brush, but they're all dirty. Actually, let's try the Rare Beauty. I love that for looks like this, and do that with this eye. I had a feeling it was going to go on darker because this is a very dense, almost fingertip-like brush. I love it for stuff like this, though. Yeah, that went on much more even and smoother. And then I'm just gonna buff out the edges. These buff incredibly easy. Like, look at that. Buffed. It's so crazy on camera, it's not coming up quite as vivid. Maybe it is. Like, this one's obviously much darker. And we need to, typically don't go that far in with a dark shadow on my lid, but we might have to call in some help to back me out of trouble here, because it's getting crazy. I'm gonna take my sponge and kind of clean up the edge better. And then we need to kind of match these up with a little more intenseness on this lid. Yeah. Rare Beauty brushes are so good. And I don't have any of the Fitglow brushes, but I'm very tempted to try them. What do we think? Maybe a touch more up in the crease here. Make sure we're even. Actually, I'm going to use that powder brush that we used earlier, just to go over and blend. These blend so easy. I don't know that this is my favorite color, but that's like a me problem. Yeah, why not? We got like a nice little green smoky eye. As far as eyes go, I have a couple of products, which, let me rewind. These, the palette itself is $20. The insert or the single pans are $28 a piece. And they call out that these have cloudberry seed oil as well for that kind of skincare kick. As far as eyes go, I have a couple of products here, definitely using the Plum Lash Primer and Mascara, but I also have one of their liquid liners, which this has kind of like a lash serum in it. It is a very fine felt tip liner. I have mine in brown, which is a very nice, rich brown. And I don't think I want to do a wing, but maybe we can do a very, very tight line just to add volume at the base of my lashes. But I really like these. They dry down a little shiny. Like, if you're looking for a matte black liquid liner, these won't be for you. But you can get a very precise line with them, and to add a little bit of volume at the base of your lashes, like I am doing here, they are really nice. They also have pencil liners, which I have not tried, but they look kind of just like a traditional waxy pencil liner. They don't seem like they'll be quite as smooth as the Victoria Beckham, and that's my Holy Grail eyeliner, so I don't know that I'm willing to walk outside of that yet. But I do really like this, and I like that it has that added lash serum. So if you're someone who does just like a thin line every day, I think it would be a good option. And those eyeliners, I want to say, are around $28. They usually do duo sets where you can get the black and the brown. And again, Fitglow, don't buy Fitglow full price. Moving into the Plum Lash Primer. This guy comes in at $28, but you can also get a duo of this in the mascara for $49. Has a nice, here we go, plastic spiky bristle brush, and you can see that has a bit of like plummy brownness to it. This is meant to be a primer that your mascara will go on top of. It has lash boosting benefits for growth and thickness, but its main purpose is to really add extra volume and length underneath the mascara. The Fitglow mascara is one of those in Clean Beauty that everyone raved about. Really, Fitglow was like, when I was going through all of the kind of like Clean Beauty, especially back in like 2013, they were like one of the only companies that performed even close to what conventional makeup performed as. And a lot of people loved it. And so I've always wanted to try. And over the last, I would say 2 to 3 years, I've really fallen in love with it. And this is one coat of the primer. It definitely adds length, but not a lot of volume or curl. So if I look down, you can kind of see a difference. But when I look up, you're not getting that effect kind of here. That comes in more with the mascara. But I'm gonna go ahead and zoom through applying the primer to my other eye, and we will reconvene with mascara. Okay, moving into the mascara. So the mascara is $38, but again, you can get the set of the two for $49 and Fitglow sales on top of that. Fitglow is always at least 15% off, if not 20, and then they usually do 25% off as regular sales. But I have it in black, and I want to show you this one because it's very interesting. So the top has these spiky plastic bristles in a round shape, and then the bottom, if I flip to the top here, it has natural bristles in a straight shape, which is so interesting to me. So I'm going to take kind of the natural bristle side and do my first coat. So I feel like those types of brushes lean into volume more than length, and that's what I'm looking to kind of build with this current look. So there's one coat. So I've got one coat of the mascara on top of two coats of the primer and just two coats of the primer. Go in and add a little bit more with that rounded side. Which to me, this rounded side is going to do a lot of separation, which I'm already seeing. So I'm getting a much fluffier brow, or much fluffier lashes. And I flicked some on myself. Typical. Okay, there we go. Two coats, you can see a big difference, I think, in curl and length. So I'm going to go in, do the other side, and we'll figure out if I want to do a third. Now we're cooking. I think I really like that rounded side best. Man, my left ear right eye is being quite a dud today. What's that about? I flicked a couple of spots, so we're gonna let those sit for a minute and then we'll come back to visit those. In the meantime, I do think I'm gonna grab an inner corner highlight because I'm not used to seeing my inner corner this dark. Okay. I went ahead and added just a little bit of Sea Goddess to the inner corner, and I'm starting to feel more like myself. So let's jump into my favorite category from Fitglow, which I don't know what that face was, which is lips. I have 3 of their lip liners. I actually have a 4th one, but it's hot pink, and I know that that one's out for today, but I will swatch these for you. So I have Root, which is a nice kind of like chocolatey brown with a hint of red. Then I have Nude, which is my very favorite everyday liner. It's just slightly darker than my lips, like a dusty rose. And then we have Buff, which is the complementing shade to the blush that we wore today. So here is Buff. Then we have Nude, which is my favorite. Then we have Root, which is very nice for kind of those darker lippy look days. So I am between Buff and Nude because I am also between Buff, the lip serum, or what I also have here is their new shade Joy, which I think is too cool, but we will swatch it. And then I picked up Go, which is like very nude. Let's try Buff first, and then we'll go from there. So I'm going to take the lip liner. I just sharpened Nude, but Buff is still pretty sharp. And go ahead and line my lips. These are your traditional kind of waxy lip pencils, but they are very smooth. You'll see they go on very easy with a light touch, but they're kind of a sweet spot between creamy, going on easy and being comfortable, but waxy enough that they don't disappear quickly. I'm just going to kind of pat that together. And then if you are new here, hi, my name is Rachel and I am a Fitglow lip serum addict. So that's how I feel about these. But here is Buff. The best lip products on the market, honestly. How do I feel? I think if I could do it over from scratch, I'd go a little, like I would have picked up a warmer shade. I thought that this would be kind of olivey and with that gold shimmer be a little bit warmer, but like I like the eyes on their own. And then I like the rest of the face on its own. But I'm really happy with this. But before we get into wrapping up final thoughts, I will swatch these lip serums for you. And let me know if you're interested. I think I have all of the lip serums except for a couple from previous collections that are no longer available. So let me know if you are curious to see just purely a lip swatch video. Oh, I'm so happy I have Go now. Okay, so here we have Go, this very kind of milky watermelon-ish-y pink. It's like a touch of coral. Then we have Buff, which is right in front of the lip liner, so identical colors, and that pair really well with the blush shade. And then we have Joy, their new color, which is like a very interesting dusty fuchsia. So excited to have that. But this is the final product of a full face of Fitglow. We'll do a close-up so you can kind of see texture. It's looking so much better on camera. Maybe you can start to see some of it down here where I have texture. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into final thoughts and recap the products that I have used. All right, starting with the Ceramide toner. I have tried to dupe this with other ceramide toners. This is my favorite. I forever purchase. As soon as this is empty, we'll be getting another one. I hope they come out with refills. Okay, next, the Vita Shield Plum Hyaluronic Primer, Broad Spectrum SPF 30. This one comes in at $44 for 1.5 ounces. This is up there, I think, with the HuGuard for me, but the HuGuard being slightly less expensive and slightly less white casty pulls ahead in that race for me. It's also lighter feeling on the skin. This kind of feels like one of those kind of like crunchy, occlusive moisturizers, if you get what I'm saying. But I think that this is probably one of very few SPFs that is actually in refillable packaging. So you keep your pump and you keep the outer sleeve and you're just replacing this. Which, is it perfect? No, but the pumps are generally one of the harder things to, what do you call it? Recycle. So it is nice that they do that. It's the same as their toners. So I love it for that reason. I think the pink tint in there is to help with white cast. I don't have dark enough skin to test that theory out, but I could see this being white casty because I had to work to rub it in a little bit on me. But I would recommend that, especially if you can get it on sale on the Fitglow site. Then the Fitglow F1 Shade F1 and the Foundation Plus. Some people are going to say it's because I have a sample and not the full size, but the sample doesn't give me even close to the texture that I generally like on my skin. In person, it really picks up on any dry patches, any hairs that you have on your face, any texture at all. And that makes me so sad because this has all the promises that I would love in a foundation. So sadly, it is not for me, but I know that State of Kate really loves it. So it works for some people, but it doesn't work for me. Then moving into the Color Correct and the concealer. Here we go. This green Color Correct, if it weren't for the texture, but the way that the tint goes into the skin and camouflages redness, is one of the best correctors that I've used. I don't use them because it is hard to find color correctors that sit on the skin the way that you want them to, especially if you're layering them with other products. But I did really like this one, even with the texture that's not maybe my favorite, which gets us into the concealer, especially for $42. I know that you get a decent amount. Fitglow concealer comes in the same as the lip serums, and these are deceivingly large products, like much larger than you would think and than a traditional lip gloss. But it's the texture again. It stays too emollient, so the creasing is much worse, even though I'm a crease queen, than usual. And then the way it sits on my skin, it picks up all the texture underneath my eyes, and even with that blurring powder, it's just, again, not for me, especially at $42. Granted, you can get it on sale, makes it much more palatable, but again, State of Kate loves that. It's for someone's skin, it's just not for mine, which kind of breaks my heart. But then moving into this bamboo powder. Yeah, this is good. This helped save this look. I was anticipating this looking much worse in person. This powder really helped, and I can't wait to try this with other things. I think especially for $28, you get a generous amount in here. Like, it'll take a while to get through this because you need the tiniest bit because it is so finely milled. It is translucent. I didn't have it really like brighten or anything. I think it will be truly translucent, so happy to recommend that, especially if there's any type of skincare claims in it. Why not? You know, it's powder. I said that about the Westman Atelier, but the more better ingredients, the more I will enjoy putting it on my face because I feel like I'm doing something nice. Moving into the multi-use powders, I'm so happy that they did this. I think that this is much more conducive to their consumer than the old school palettes, which I'll pop a picture up on the screen, where the palette space use was just not great and the colors were predetermined and not always what people were looking for. So I love that you can create your own palette with whatever shades that you want. The formula I think is good. You definitely get pigment payoff, but you can sheer it out. They blend excellently. The blush looks super natural and nice. So if you're a powder blush type of person, I would recommend these powders. $28 a piece is a little steep. They do have some of those skincare claims, but it is also a decent sized shadow pan. Let me hold up. I want to say these are 36 millimeters like the Terra Moons. Oh my gosh, yes. So this is my Terra Moons Sea Goddess, which is in my inner corner, but they're the 36 millimeter pans, so it's a decent size. It's gonna take a little while to work through those. And again, get them on sale, at least 20% off. You're saving at least $4 or $5 there. So I really like these, and I love that they are continuing to come out with new colors. I really want to get into some of the purples, maybe try a bronzer. Yeah, I'm just so happy that they did this. This was a really smart move for them. The palette that is made from recycled plastic water bottles feels weighty. It's not kind of chintzy like a Wet n Wild plastic palette from the drugstore. Like, it feels very nice, especially for $20. And now that I know that they're a standard 36 millimeter, you could, you know, build a quad from eyeshadows that you already have from other brands, and it's just, they'll be protective and nice, and the magnets are nice. It's just a really nice palette for $20, especially if you can get it on sale. Moving into eye products, the liquid eyeliner, again for about $28, get it on sale. I really like these. It's a nice little liquid liner. It's not going to be super matte, so keep that in mind, but I also think that it is a user-friendly long felt tip, which is really nice. Although I do like to kind of get excess product off by kind of ringing it around the component just to get the extra off, but I do like that. I would recommend it, and whether or not it has lash boosting qualities, I've never tested just that on my lashes, but it's nice that they put that in there. As far as the mascara and the primer, I think the primer is like, you don't necessarily need this, but it is kind of nice, and it does, I think, add a little extra underneath the mascara. However, I think this mascara is fabulous on its own. It is a traditional mascara. It is not a tubing mascara, so it's not my holy grail mascara, but it is one that I will consider wearing when I am more in the mood for the removal of a typical mascara, which sometimes is the case. There's a case for it. So I would recommend those, especially if you are interested in something more clean. I will say it's probably tied with the Ilia mascara that I tried in my other video, but they're both really nice for conventional mascara wearers. Love the lip liners. These are, I think, $24 each. Again, get them on sale, or they sell them in sets all the time. I have the hot pink one, and I will at some point be picking up the red. I hope they continue to expand the color range to go with more of the lip serums. I absolutely love these. Again, creamy enough that they're easy to put on, but waxy enough that they're going to stay around for a decent amount of time. And then the last, but certainly not least, the lip serums. Like I mentioned, these are my #1 favorite lip product ever. They are $42 a piece. However, again, Fitglow has promo codes all the time, but also they do a lot of kits. You can pick 3 colors that you like together. They do predetermined kits. They have kits with the lip liners and the lip serums, or the lashes, the liner. They have a lot of different sets is what I'm getting at. And again, these lip serums in particular are deceivingly large and will take you quite a while to get through. I get through them. That's how much I love them. They are very gel-like, very cushiony, make your lips look very juicy. You can kind of go over the lines a little bit and it just looks very pouty and not overdrawn. And they really do heal your lips. The night serum is the best because it has ceramides, but these will moisturize and keep your lips happy and healthy all day. And yeah, I cannot recommend those enough. Oh, eyebrow gel. I really like this. It keeps them locked in place. It keeps them kind of individually defined. Love that they have a gray shade. And this, how much was this? $28. So again, get it on sale. I would love to see them come out with a brow stick. But I hope that it's drier than their lip liner formula, please. Okay, anyway, I love it. I'm actually much happier with this than I thought I would be. I think the base could be a little bit better, but I think some of the prep we did helped out quite a bit. And yeah, I hope this was helpful. I absolutely love Fitglow. If you want to see me kind of go through their skincare, body care, and give my opinions, I'm happy to. I just picked up the Plant Active Peel Pads. I'm working on an exfoliating video for very sensitive skin. These are probably not going to work for me, but I have very sensitive skin. But if you'd like to see more on Fitglow, let me know. If you'd like to see a lip swatch of the lip serums, let me know. But I hope you're having a fabulous, loving day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.